Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just make sure this is going through the correct microphone. Hello, hello. All right, so the numbers look okay here. We are getting ready to hop back into draft here after a few minor delays due to some technical difficulties on some of our players' side here, but nonetheless, we are starting the draft roughly soon here. We got quite the match on our hands. We got the Elegy Reapers versus TD I don't know. Let's take a look at these lineups here, as well as their place in the standings. We are looking at a cross group match, so these two do not match up against each other in the regular season at all. With LSG Reapers being one and one, 3 games to 3, meaning they have one series, lost one series. And then TD I don't know with 0-2 series record and a game record of 1-4. So not looking too hot for TD I don't know at this time, with Atomic Rider, Hoodie Man, Trashy, Wolven, Alchemist, Crockpot being their lineup for tonight. We got overall no idea who these guys are. I'm not gonna come here and doubt them. We got Atomic Rider 36 here in Platinum 4. We got Hoodie Man X here at a Silver 1. Trashy at a Bronze 2. Wolven Alchemist with a Silver 3. And Crockpot in Silver 4. Then on our side over at ELG, ELG represent. We are going through ban phase now. Running Jax, but we got up in the top lane. We got our boy. Where is our boy actually right now? Dwagon. We got our boy Dwagon up in the top lane, and then we got our boy. We got Art in the jungle, I believe. Their name they go by different names on the Discord than they do as their in-game name, so it's a little confusing to look at both of their names, especially our mid laner. But nonetheless, we got Vexed in the jungle, and then Art is the mid laner, not the jungler. But we call the jungler bees. No idea why. There's some origins there, but nonetheless, we got our boy Hops. This guy's got the same name on both. Oh, all the way through the bands. And then we got Chaotic Obsidian, captain of the team there. We got Jax Ban from blue side with a B1 Aatrox. Urgot, Udyr, Tristana, Nocturne, Renekton. Renekton getting picked up by TD I don't know here. I'm very confused as to what's going on. So we got Aatrox being picked up for Elegy Reapers for B1 here, being answered by TD I don't know with a Renekton Caitlyn. So that's going to be a kind of brawly top lane and a long range in the bot lane, really oppressive. Potentially not very interactive for the other side as well. We got Braum being picked up as a response. Oh, potentially going for a Nyla here. It's interesting. They've been practicing the Nyla, so it would be interesting to see how they pull it out. I don't know if they played it in scrims. What they told me, Chaotic has mentioned that they've been working on that stuff, so that should be fun to see. Amumu getting picked up as well. A lot of engage, a lot of secondary engage on the side of LG Reapers here right now. A lot of dive. We're going to have Ari as a kind of safe-ish pick with a decent amount of wave clear, as well as kind of mobility, able to keep themselves alive fairly easily. We got Galio being banned for TD. I don't know. We got Poppy getting banned on the side of Reaper, scared of the Poppy support or jungle pick there. Since we already know the Renekton's going up in top lane, we know the mid lane, so be interesting to see what ban we see from both sides for the last two here. We're going to see a Yone ban. Respectfully, I get it. Respectfully. No one likes a fed Yone, so we'll get rid of it. We've seen Art play that before, and we know he can do some stuff with it. Let's see what the last ban here. LG Reapers opting into a Nautilus ban. Reasonable. Trying to make sure they don't have enough lockdown for the follow-up with the Caitlyn there. Then we got TD, I don't know, going for their first pick after the not ban. And we are going to be seeing Lilia picked up, the jungle pick getting locked in. We're going to save R5 for support pick. It should be interesting to see here. We're going to also see the last pick for support on LG as well. You know, quite interesting to see that. And the Victor here going to be able to match up with the AoE damage that you're going to get from the Mumu, the Nyla ult, and then the Aatrox just kind of being in there to keep the CC chain going. Going to be really kind of... If they're winning, they're going to be winning hard. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. By looking at this, that's how it's going to be going down. That's how it's going to be going down. We're going to be seeing the Janna pick as a way to kind of prevent any kind of engage on the other side as well. Maybe a little bit disengagey. It's nice to have a button out when you're kind of comps there, but I'm not sure if it's the best pick. If we're just kind of trying to cover for the fact that we don't really have a good secondary plan. If we go all in, we could potentially go for that. And we're going to see a Alistar, which is going to be a terrible pick into a Janna Nyla. I mean, I guess you can knock away the Nyla, but I feel like picking Alistar into Janna is a little goofy. A little goofy, not gonna lie. I mean, I guess if you catch him off guard. But we know my boy Chaotic's going to have those reactions, you know. He's going to be hitting you with... We've seen him do it before. Team is grabbing water. Well, now I might as well go over the side of LG Reapers. Talk more about the draft here on both sides. So we got LG Reapers with Dwagon coming in at Plat 4. Vexed coming in at Silver 1. Art coming in at Gold 4. Hops coming in at Gold 4. And Chaotic coming in at Gold 2. Overall, pretty stacked in terms of ranked, especially when you compare it to the side of TD. I don't know, but then again, we are seeing a lot more ranked games from the majority of the players on the side of LG. So it could be unfair comparison, but we'll take a look at the standings and we'll see how this one plays out to find out if it's accurate to look at their ranks and think that one team's better than the other. But we'll see how the game plays. And based on these comps, I'm thinking... So we got really strong kind of all-in team fight on the side of LG Reapers. And then pretty decent pick with a little bit of all-in on the side of TD. I don't know, but a lot of mobility, a lot of movement, a lot of speed. A lot of speed there. But... So we'll see which one. It'll kind of come down to if TD, I don't know, can play the map better, since they do have a little bit better wave clear and a little bit better rotations. Meanwhile, I feel like Reapers, they're mainly going to start wanting to clump up and group up. They don't quite have as good wave clear, I don't think. But I'm personally going to have a bias towards Elegy Reapers. I'm on their roster. Don't know if that's why I have a slight bias towards them or not, but I'm thinking their comp's a little bit better here. I'm gonna be honest. A little bit better. A little bit better. But it's all gonna come down to piloting from both sides. So with that, we're gonna pause for a short break here before we hop into the match here.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
One to fear. Not rest.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just hopping into the loading screen here. We get to check out everybody's skins and summoner spells, as well as their rune pages here. We got Conqueror, kind of pretty normal stuff all the way around. We got Lethal Tempo on the Caitlyn there, which is, I guess, fairly unique. But I could just be out of the times for what Caitlyns are taking nowadays, but should be loading in any minute now. But let's take a look here at their mastery info on their champions here. So fairly even matchup up there. We got the Aatrox and Renekton. Let us see what they are going to do.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So just standard 5-point coming out of both sides. It'd be really interesting to see how these guys kind of match up. Very common for players kind of in these lower tiers to more or less just kind of not have much competitive experience. So I know for the majority of the LG roster, we are looking at rookies here. So it is fairly interesting to see how they match up. I've heard the name Wolven Alchemist before. I've heard the name Trashy before. Haven't heard the name Crockpot. We had a little bit of a pause there, but looks like we are back and going here as kind of both squads kind of holding their own a little bit, you know. But we got Vex kind of pushing in just slightly. We got Crockpot kind of holding there. Interesting enough, we have Wolven Alchemist kind of dropping the ward in the Tribush and going under turret. Not entirely sure what he was scared of there, but I feel like he could have used that a little bit better. Moving a little bit further in. Putting down X getting pushed up in there, dropping the ward on the Raptor. So we are going to both sides know what kind of pathing we're expecting from the junglers there based off where they're beyond the map and what they're clearing, because both sides have Raptor pit warded, being able to spot the opposing jungler. So interesting enough, they're both starting red side. We got Victor just kind of doing Victor things in the mid lane for now, but yeah, like we got people like Wolven Alchemist here who I feel like I've heard the name of before, so I feel like they've probably played a few competitive leagues, maybe a split or two somewhere else. Not entirely sure, but I know Hops was saying this is primarily one of his first times, so see how they kind of match up on a skill level in this more team play environment is quite interesting, especially for a lot of these players who are more used to a solo queue environment. We got Chaotic kind of going aggressive here as they do get level 2 first, poking them pretty hard, forcing the flash out of Crockpot. Nothing burnt on the side of Elegy. Both of them just kind of getting a free trade there, free flash onto the Alistar. Strong trade, especially given the fact that you're playing a Nyla Janna lane, which isn't going to do too much early, supposedly. And compared to a Alistar Caitlyn, which, just like this, we see the kind of combo there, then manages to just walk away from it. Wolven going for the flash here, and it's going to be the flash headshot auto. Then Hops is going to be in danger here. Ignite getting dropped down, Cleanse going down, Hops flashing away, only to get hit by the Caitlyn Q. Unfortunate to see from the side of Elegy, but misplays happen here and there. Potentially we're looking at another pause here. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't show me the chat. I thought it used. But we got Hoodie Man X. Slight lead. In the sense that they're slightly ahead in a camp. but they're not fully ahead. Top lane, we're looking super even both sides. Mid lane, dead even. We got a health pot up on the side of Art. I'm gonna see something potentially happening up here on the top lane as we got Vexed walking up there and taking a look at Atomic Rider 36, but as Dwagon starts to engage on him here, gets them off all of the summoner spells, easily gets the flash out of there for free, and that's gotta feel really bad from the side of Atomic Rider, as he, not only did he see that he saw him, but he also saw that he saw him earlier, and that they both knew it was warded at that point, and he just lets the gank still go through. Gotta feel a little bit bad here. We got Vexed going for the Scuttle Crab now, able to just kind of walk back into his jungle. Atomic Riders happily pushing the lane and kind of getting a bit of a lead here, but, or not really, because actually as long as, but unfortunately Dwagon is going to fumble the bag there. We were going to see a potential fumble of a lead for Atomic there, but Engage coming in on the bot side here. We got Crockpot going in with the WQ, knocking him up, hitting him around. Hops going in, smacking him a little bit, using the W to prevent most of the damage output from Woven Alchemist. They are just taking heaps of damage coming in from the minions, of all things, at that point, because they were just tanking all of that minion aggro that whole fight as they dove behind their minion wave. Common mistake you see people do, especially in these lower elos. I say as I'm Silver 3. Respectfully. Hops moving up here a little bit, just smacking him a bit. Able to get away with a lot more. We actually have a CS lead on the side of Nyla, which has gotta feel bad on the side of Woven Alchemist. You'd be like thinking, yeah man, I can handle this, but if someone's comfortable on the champion, they can make it do a lot more things than you would expect usually. And that's being showcased right here with the Nyla, especially with how little she's played in solo queue. That it's just not a common pick. But we are going to see Hoodie Man X pushing onto the aggressive here in terms of vision, getting spotted out by the vision of Vexed, right by that Raptor bush there, and he isn't going to be managed to take anything. He is going to potentially look to start the Dragon here, potentially looking for a trade. Top is Dwagon, who's got the wave in a decent spot where he can focus on hitting the wave and Atomic Rider at the same time if Atomic Rider walks up. But we are going to see Art coming fairly low here. Trashy going to have to blow the ult just to get away from a Mumu Q. But we are going to see the Dragon drop down, being picked up by Hoodie Man with the smite. Well played on the macro side. They actually managed to give up nothing in terms of their lives. They've given up a bit of CS perhaps, but overall they're sitting pretty happy with how that play turned out. On the side of TD, and LG gonna be on the back foot here. We got Dwagon getting forced flash out of with the full combo coming out of Atomic Rider 36. Gonna be pretty hard for the gang to come through with this one. At that point, they are facing a quite deficit, but they haven't gone for a full-on team fight yet. We are going to see the TP coming out of Art just to hold the mid lane, because that Ahri is pushing quite hard, but manages to dodge the charm there to avoid the majority of the damage, but does get hit with the Q, getting trunked out a tiny bit here. Dwagon going to hold that top lane. For now, he did have to force his flash and ultimate out earlier. We are going to see potentially an engage here on the bot side. We got Chaotic Obsidian lining out the tornado. Meanwhile, we got Hops jumping in here. He wants this fight. We got Crockpot thinking as well, but looks like Trashy is going to be pulling up. I wonder if this is spotted by Chaotic Obsidian and is looking for a call off the play. They are hitting their pink ward now, so they are going to be backing out. Chaotic Obsidian manages to get away with his life here. No one manages to die, which realistically at that point you're pretty happy on the side of LG, because you could have given them a double kill there and you managed to walk away with giving them nothing. I'm smiling personally. Dwagon just manages his own kind of way up here. You know, he's got so much life, so much sustain on that Aatrox here, but I wonder if he's going to see the gank early or not. We are going to see the double E into the... Ooh! unfortunate turn of events go to the way of Dwagon, who manages to just slightly miss. Or just manages to get caught out by the engage on the Renekton's double E. So much range on that thing into the W is going to be rough. And that is going to mean the Grubs going the way of TD, I don't know right now. With Trashy pushing out that bot wave, Wolf and Alchemist holding the mid wave. The rest of the gang is just heading up into that Grubs, easily securing 3 out of the 6 Void Grubs here. We are going to see Arc managing to, I mean, luckily we got a decent amount of wave clear on the side of Elegy, so they're able to do quite a bit with it. Aren't going to be able to catch up Trashy here, not likely. But Chaotic Obsidian is doing his damnedest to be a pain. He is doing his damnedest to be a pain to that Ahri, not letting them back for free. Not letting them back for free. I can respect that. I can respect that. But looks like we are going to see them both staying in lane here, potentially thinking that one of them could catch the other one off guard and go for some kind of engage here. We got Dwagon getting all in from the top side, Atomic Rider hitting him with the EEW. And Chaotic Obsidian still being a nuisance to that Ahri. Meanwhile, we got Alistar on the Mr. Crockpot himself pulling up to the top side. Looks like we are going to see Dwagon fall before Art gets here, but we are going to see a bit of tunnel vision potentially. Unfortunately, not quite enough as Vex manages to get himself killed just before hitting the tower range. And Art is now sitting there to collect wave. Luckily, that means they are going to hold the tower, but it is looking quite grim for the side of the Reapers as of right now. And looking like you're sitting pretty happy on the side of TD. You are sitting quite happy on the side of TD right now. You have a decent gold lead going for yourselves. You're 5 kills up. You got 3 grubs. Every lane seems to be doing quite well. Mid lane's dead even, but everywhere else we're smiling. We're smiling. That being said, a lot of these champions are much stronger in team fights on the side of Elegy. So we can expect them to be popping off in these team fights if they manage to get their combos off and plan out their team fight according to their positioning. Because as of right now, we've been mainly seeing isolated skirmishes between parties of 2 or 3 at most, and they haven't really been able to play off of each other on the side of Elegy. Meanwhile, a pit comp, if everyone hits the same champion, you guys win. But that becomes increasingly difficult when you group up on the side of Elegy, which we are now seeing them 4-manning mid here. But they are down 4,000 gold, or 3,000 gold, which is going to make it a little rough to play out this team fight. But if we manage to land off all our alts in a proper combo, then we could potentially do something big. We got kind of just posturing on the side of both teams here, not wanting to be the first one to start it so that they can go for the counter engage. Or for the contest rather than get contested, which is fair to say. But also, Chaotic was already at below half HP, I believe, there, or around there at least. But we are going to see it started up from the side of TD, but we're kind of all over the place on the side of Elegy, and we gotta start. We either going in now or we're holding off. Looks like we are going in now. They do clump up right into there. We got a big ultimate coming in. Mumu ult lands on 3. We got Hops hitting them with the ult, but not quite enough damage here. But we are seeing Dwagon pull up with the TP. The 3 triple kill goes the way of Hoodie Man X, and Art and Dwagon are on the retreat here. We have not yet managed to take out one of them, and we've lost a 4v5. This Lilia getting tons of worth, tons of damage, and securing themselves the Drake here. It is looking rough onto the side of Elegy, as TD just seems to be running away with it at this point. They got everything they wanted. on the side of Elegy, and perhaps they didn't land all of their abilities on the same champions. They didn't have good, decent enough targeting, but it is looking rough for them now. But you got to know that one of them is calling this out. One of them is calling for more of a play around them and focus down targets. We got to make sure we're targeting the right people. Taking out his red buff here. Hopefully time to reset here. We are looking at this point, a 7k deficit. But keep in mind, because of this pure deficit, because they are 10 kills down, if they manage to land a combo off and take out 2 of their carries, let's say we land a Amumu ult combo with the Victor W onto the Janna W, or Janna Q onto the Lilia. That could be 1,000 gold going the way of our Victor, which will get us back into that game pretty quick, especially because after that we will be able to capitalize more off of these plays. But we are looking at Hops getting picked a little bit here, but it is hard for them to take them out in one quick go because of that W. But we are going to see him fall after Atomic is forced to flash to secure it. We are seeing Janna fall as well with Chaotic doing what he could to save them, but unfortunately they were both doomed at that point. We are going to hopefully get something at this point on the map. We got Vex kind of being forced back. We don't have much use at this point. We are seeing the wave shove in. Perhaps he is finishing his Leandres. He looks like he's finishing his Leandres there. Quite substantial first item. We are still not quite at a first item on the Aatrox as well. So we kind of hoping to have a bit more scaling time here. But the gold lead is ballooning a little bit here. And this here could be a problem, is when we pick a scaling comp and then we gradually let the game go further, but we play sloppily in the first half because we think, oh, well, we have a scaling comp. But perhaps playing from a deficit in game 1 helps us lock in. We are mad grouped up right here. We see Atomic Rider coming in off the TP. We got the 5-man pulling up here. I'm guessing the call was to fall back and wait for us to get items there, but I was sniffing a 5-man up personally. But looks like we're gonna see one of our ults get used here. Then everyone else has dipped. We got Art down bot lane now. He seems to have TP'd there. Forces the TP out of Trashy as a reply and manages to poke him down quite a bit, because this mid lane has still been fairly even the whole game. Despite the deficit team-wise, Art has held his own against Trashy quite well without really much kind of contention, and most of that comes from the map being played a little bit more on the side of TD in this first game. Looks like the Herald is getting dropped here from Atomic Rider, hitting it off on the tower, getting some of the grubs off, but not actually getting the tower directly. We are going to see an engage here on the side of Elegy around that mid lane, but no ult as they used it earlier, so we are not gonna see them going for that team fight. At least not in the long run. Just drinking some water, gang. Looks like we got Chaotic Obsidian getting poked out a little bit here. Atomic Rider taking the blue buff of Vex here, but Vex is just kind of wandering around at this point, hoping to find something, because at this point you don't think your jungle is yours. We are almost down 10k at this point, so it is quite rough, but we do manage to pick up a Wolves. We are going to eventually spot the fact that our blue has been taken. We are going to see the Drake go over to the side of TD as well. Overall, fairly rough start. But like I was saying earlier, if we can get a pick onto one of these carries, because we have been at such a deficit, this is going to be a big swing in power, because we will suddenly become much stronger than we were. We are going to die there, but at this point, it doesn't really give them much besides tempo. Honestly, I think they should be fine. I think if we manage to get a pick, like we're looking right here onto Crockett, or Crockpot, but he is going to just barely kind of stay alive for a little bit, and then get knocked out onto Hops. We do see the kill going his way, but that is quite... You're smiling about that. You're honestly smiling about that, because you got your first kill. Ooh, that's going to be rough from Vex. We know that they were down there, I think. Chaotic Obsidian doing everything he can here to hold this turret, but at this point you gotta believe in the fact that it's well gone. Like you are not saving this thing. Overall, let's take a look at some CS differences. Right now, we got 35 to 179 up in top lane. We got 110 to 144 in jungle, 148 to 129. We got a CS lead from our mid laner here. And then 168 to 157, another CS lead for Mr. Hops down there, and we are seeing them go towards Otacon, but we are looking to grab this mid lane, which will be quite good because we already have the bounties as well. Like I was saying, guys, we got a big turn in gold. As we're managing to pick up some of these bounties, we are continuously increasing our gold lead, potentially, or we're quickly scaling down our gold lead, or gold deficit. We are going to see the flash from Trashy here, but it is going to be too little too late, as we are going to see them die to Hops, who manages to dash right to them with a little bit of that Nyla swing to it. Meanwhile, we got Vex taking this top layer, and we got the macro is coming in, baby. We got a proper tower race here on the side of, or not just in the game here. We got a TP coming through from Renekton here. We can just focus this Renekton down. Ooh, but we are going to see a little bit of a fumble on the side of Elegy. We needed to play that much smoother as a squad. We are going to see Hops walk away from that, and so if you're... Oh, might be a little rough. We are going to see Hops manage to get the recall off. He is now solo trying to hold the base. Oh, and we are going to see the Lilia actually die to tower before being contested. Ladies and gentlemen, this is cinema. Hops just smacking everything around as much as he can here. We got him walking up, just doing what he can. Meanwhile, Chaotic Obsidian smacking some wards now. Trying to clear out the vision, get something going for his team on his side of the map here. Allow his jungler to do something. Both kills right now are on Hops. We need to be playing around this guy. We know he's goated with the sauce right now. but he is walking up hella aggro, and it is quite frankly giving me a little bit of a panic attack. And we got Chaotic Obsidian getting hit by the charm, getting all that vision to recall on somewhere that he doesn't got vision. I don't know about that one, Chief. Dwagon pushes out the mid lane when they're trying to go for that pick. Manages to get one wave in, not get much off of it, but right now we are playing a little bit of game of will they, won't they, in regards to the dragon fight. We do see Hops and our boy Art on the flank. Lilia does walk directly behind everybody, but manages to just walk away slowly. We are seeing a big ult coming out of both sides. Amumu and the Nyla. Nyla smacking him around here. We got Dwagon moving in. We got him Vex moving in now. We got Dwagon moving in and trying to get a Q off to knock him up. It gets the flash Q on Trashy, knocks him up, hits him with the bandage toss on the side of Vex. We are now pivoting back to the Dragon, and that is how you do it, guys. That's how you come back from a fight or a big deficit. You group up, you play to your strengths, and you wait for a good team fight. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Land the smite, and we walk out of there. Soul point denied from Elegy. TD, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing at this point. How are you fumbling this kind of lead? Gonna take a sip of water after that one. Crucial point to note here, we are going to see the Caitlyn and the Renekton both not die in that fight. Therefore, both still have bounties coming into this next fight, which we assume is going to be at Baron, as it is the next major objective to be spawning, and both sides are already rotating to the top side of the map. We got the first team on site being red side with Crockpot in behind enemy lines, potentially looking for a pick onto Chaotic Obsidian or Vex, but might get picked in the process. Meanwhile, Nyla is walking into the mid lane to keep that wave push, and we got Art in the bot lane. We do have him with TP. Meanwhile, we have no TPs on the side of TD, I don't know. And like I'm saying, TD, I don't know what you're doing, man. Art pushing that hard. We do have vision from Elegy in the Baron pit, allowing us to be super confident in engaging here when we would like to. And the W from Crockpot being used super early, not to deny and engage here, but we are going to see them fall a little bit back here. We are going to see a 3-man ult into another 3-man ult from the Nyla, getting smacked around here. Big Janna ult to keep the healing up. Meanwhile, we got Trashy getting smacked around here. Vex moving in. We got Caitlyn on her lonesome versus Chaotic Obsidian and Art. Art walking in, getting a few hits off, but we are going to see a lot of damage back from Caitlyn, but it is not going to be enough, as we are going to see Art and Chaotic Obsidian manage to win the fight quite freely, and they are going to be quickly going to their waves to push them out. Little anticlimactic from such a big fight, but you'll love to see it nonetheless. We are going to see 2 bounties going to the way of LG. Let's see who picked these guys up here. We are going to see Victor has shut down the Caitlyn, so that is going to go to my boy. And then I don't know what the other one was. Aatrox took down the Renekton, which is going to set our boys up quite well. And now we are looking at a 2k gold deficit, the smallest gold deficit we've been in a while. And we're down 12 kills. That's what I'm talking about. That's called economics, bro. We play for that late game. If you're inting early, that's an investment. I should have never doubted my boys. Chaotic Obsidian clearing some vision here. It was honestly, I'm not entirely sure who's to blame or to be like nice about how that last fight played out, because I felt like there was a lot going on that was so close to just being incredibly one-sided, but both sides were just not doing it because they were like scared or something. But we'll see how this next fight plays out, as we are going to see the Baron still up for grabs on both sides. Vision is down for Elegy, so we are fully confident walking into the area here. Crockpot not looking to get any of his wards down on that side of the map right now. We do have his pink ward. They are looking potentially to play towards this dragon and saying, you know what, we don't need the Baron. We'll play towards Drake because it's Drake's soul for us. But we are going to see Dwagon taking out that bot turret. Not really scared of Trashy or any of his trashy takes on if he can win this 1v1. Because it's not looking like he can. Chaotic Obsidian smacking Crockpot for taking out one of his wards, being like, hey, I know you did that. Vex is going to get tagged by Hoodie Man X's ability there. We are going to see a 2-man sleep getting dropped onto the side. 3-man ulti coming in from Hops, but we are going to see him get popped before anyone else is able to follow. That is going to be a bit of problem, as we are going to see 3 down. We are going to likely see Dwagon fall, but that's going to be a 4 people down onto the side of Elegy, and TD, I don't know what you're doing, but it seems to be working out. Oh my god, the fumbles. Cinema. And they're going to the Baron. Oh, my. Just end the game. Just end the game. Why'd you back off? Now, guys, we are going to see some silly business going on here. We are going to see TD, I don't know, actually opting to not end the game here in their 15-second window. And they are actually going to choose to pivot all the way to the dragon, move on to that soul point, and get that uncontested fully, planning to not play on the edge. I get it. Not for me. But we are going to see Elegy on the other side of the map prepping their vision control around this Baron. They're still feeling super confident. They know if they get a good team fight, they can win it. All that matters is that they hit their stuff together. And what we saw in that last team fight was just tragedy. We saw a 3-man ult from Hops followed by nothing. And it showed real quick. And we are going to see the primary engage. We are going to see the Baron go over to the side of Elegy. Not contested at all. We're going to see 2 ults hit Crockpot, hit Hoodie Man. Hoodie Man's going to knock on a 4-man sleep with the Renekton getting in there, slicing and dicing. Meanwhile, we got Hops knocking him around. No one quite yet dying on the side of Elegy, but we got Vex dropping to Trashy near the end there. Not quite too bad, but unfortunate nonetheless. They do secure Baron at the cost of their jungler. They win 3 kills to 1, but they lost the Dragon Soul. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that you got to keep in mind about this is we may get the Baron, but that's going to wear out. They have the Dragon Soul at this point, so we need to make something happen in this next play. We want, as soon as my boy Vex spawns, we need to be grouping up. We need to be looking for them. We need to sniff them out like blood. Use this Baron buff to the max. But unfortunately, it looks like we're just going to shove waves. But we will see how this turns out. Perhaps this was the move. Like I said, Silver 3 here. Big ups. Gold lead's so close, especially how big of a kill deficit they're at. Currently 27 kills to 13, but because we managed to get those 13 kills after they had already gotten a fair amount, we've been slowly but surely building up these bounties as well as taking everything, because we are at such a depth. We are at over 10k of a deficit early in the game, but now because of how much we fumbled early, we managed to claw back solely off the bounty system. As well as a few of our bot laners just being godlike at CS today. Look, just look at my boy Art, man. My boy's almost 60 CS up. 60 CS up. Now that's ridiculous. Looking closely here, I'm wondering what our next big objective is looking to be. Just pop it open here. Objective timer, scoreboard. Okay, so we are going to be seeing Elder in 2-minute 50 and Baron in 3-minute 15. We are going to see a flash slow from Chaotic Obsidian almost lead to his death. and force a TP out of the Ahri, which is going to be pretty big, especially with the Baron and Dragon coming up within kind of 3 minutes here. You're gonna see how that's gonna impact the macro this coming play. They're gonna likely group up a lot more, but they won't have as much side lane pressure, which will be unfortunate. As I believe whoever wins this next objective play wins the game, but time will tell. We are going to see the blue buff going to Vex, being able to get blue for the entire team here. Quite nice, quite enjoyable for him. You know, likes having mana, especially a lot of his team has fairly large amount of other things going on. We are going to see Art trying to take out Hoodie Man in the 1v1 as Hoodie Man goes for the engage, goes for a flash, lances ult. We are going to see both of them flash there. It's going to be a little bit unfortunate that we are going to lose both those sums before this next big fight. But we're also... actually, both of their ults should be up by then at this point in the game. So, honestly, fair play. But we do see a 600 gold bounty on the side of Caitlyn. So we are going to wonder how that factors into targeting for Elegy in this next fight, because they probably want to kill that first. They probably want to kill that first. That's all I'm going to say. Chaotic is going to have a 30 vision score lead over Crockpot. But let's also keep in mind Crockpot was a last-minute substitution due to their starting support not having enough ranked solo queue games to get 3 bans. We are going to see Dwagon bopping the ult down here. We are seeing Hoodie Man X getting smacked around here. Vex following up. Vex smacking trash. He hit him with the ulti. We're hitting 2 different fights here, guys. This isn't what we like to see. But we are going to see Art join the fight. Lots of damage still to be used. But we did already see Vex ult. We already saw the Aatrox ult. But we haven't seen the Nyla or the Victor ult. We are going to see a fat Nyla ult get dropped. We are going to see a fatter Victor ult get built from that. But not quite enough, as it is going to be going the way of TD. I don't know. And are they going to try and end the game here? Or are they going to go for one of the objectives up on the map? They do see them pushing for the end. We got a 30-second timer on anyone who could be relevant to killing you guys. But we are going to have to take out that inhib. 2 towers. We are seeing the turrets coming down as well. I mean, the minions now coming in, so we are going to lose that, but we did already get 6 grubs here. So TD, I don't know, is managing to get a decent amount off, but we are going to see Chaotic Obsidian still pushing up here, and he does have his ultimate, which manages to buy him a few more seconds of time here, but the next person up is going to be a Mumu in 10 seconds, and I don't know if he can hold it until then. Chaotic Obsidian smacking him around as much as he can, but Crockpot managed to smack it. He's focusing on the carries to try to shut them down, but it's just quite not enough, as we are going to see TD, I don't know, coming away with the victory from the jaws of defeat. After being on such a lead, they managed to lose it, bring it back, and move on to this next game. We are going to be pausing for a quick bit here, but we got to be feeling bad for our boys over at ELG right now because, or ELR, because we knew we could win this game, but we fumbled a few of these fights. Unfortunately, that's going to be how it goes. We are going to be taking a quick break, and we will be back with Game 2. Hello and welcome back, everybody. We're now into game 2 as we are just finishing up the banning phase. We are going to see LG Reapers again on blue side, TD I don't know on red side. We are going to see B1 Ari, quickly replied by Amumu and Annie. A quite strong combo, arguably friends, you could say. But we are going to see how that plays out for LG and what they have as a response. As we know now, their jungler, we are going to pick the Viego, which is quite a strong kind of champion to pick into an Amumu, as long as you're able to get the resets off here, which we already have an Ahri Viego, which are both reset champions that like being able to go a little bit crazy in team fights and do quite a lot of damage, quite a lot of movement, quite a lot of everything. Meanwhile, Annie and Amumu are both more or less one-trick ponies that like doing the one big thing. We are going to see LG Reapers opt into picking a Nautilus with blue 3. And we are wondering what TD I don't know is even thinking for R3. And we are going to see a Sivir hover for now. Oh, I have not yet transitioned to this one. And we are actually going to see R3 switch to the Urgot. Yeah, overall, pretty standard stuff. We're going to see the Aatrox hovered as a ban, but not actually banned, not paying that much respect to our boy. Not after that first performance. We are going to see the Mordekaiser ban instead. Interesting enough, but potentially it's because they're more worried about the Mordekaiser matchup. But they are going to see the Aatrox slam down quickly as the last ban from red side. No AD carry on TD I don't know yet, so probably going to see another ADC ban, but we also technically haven't seen their support. But it could be an Annie support. I'm not familiar with these players, so I don't know if that's the kind of stuff they play, but that would be quite interesting because we haven't seen that in a long time. But gonna see a Braum ban. Really not fans of Braum. And we are gonna see the Sivir pickup. Gotta wonder if it was a considered ban, considering we saw them hovering it earlier. I'm not entirely certain how I feel about having Braum with that comp in the first place. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like that Braum ban doesn't make much sense. But maybe it'll make sense with these last two picks. Maybe we're thinking the Ornn would make sense. But we are going to see the Lucian locked in, giving us more agency on this bot side of the map, which makes it even more likely that we're going to see the Ornn on B5. As it is a decent pick into the Urgot, and we are going to see it pulled up real quick here. Really good way to round out that team comp. Lots of engage with the Nautilus Ornn. Lots of resets with the Viego, the Ahri, as well as the Lucian dashing in. So we have a lot of ways to follow up on engages. We have a lot of ways to do a lot of things. Meanwhile, TD I don't know kind of has a I'm going to go fast and run at you. That's about it. So as long as we're playing our spacing right, calling things out, we do see the Rel picked up, which with the Amumu does frighten me a little bit, because we can see a world where TD I don't know manages to land like Wombo combo, which is going to be real scary to see, because I don't want to see an Amumu ult onto a Rel ult onto an Annie ult into a Sivir Q. With Ricochet? No thank you. With an Urgot Fear? No thank you. So realistically, they have an insane Wombo. But if we can play it out and not let them in, we'll win that hardcore. We'll win that hardcore. That's what we like to see, guys. So, yeah, so we got a pretty good pick and reset comp. I would say a team fight comp on the side of Elegy, but realistically, with what they have there, into the TD I don't know comp, you don't want a team fight. That sounds like a bad idea. You do, but into that sounds like a bad idea. You want to look for picks with the Nautilus hook, with the Aura Charm, perhaps. Then just use the Viego or the Lucian to blow them up on top of those combos. But you want to be primarily looking for picks rather than a full-on fight, as the Wombo combo on the side of TD is just frightening. Just plain out frightening. But you do have so much push on both sides. So it'll depend on who recognizes that first and plays towards it. So we will be right back yet again with game 2. Currently, TD I don't know up 1-0. LSG Reapers have to win this next one to bring it to game 3. We will be back in a little bit.
Shall I turn in my badge and rifle as well?
Chaos will follow.
Let me get in there. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Think carefully, my friend.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Just one sec.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Hell ain't big enough for the both of us.
Heads up.
will fall soon.
I've been muted for like the whole game. Atomic Rider taking out that bot turret. We got Art holding the rest of his team there, or the rest of the minions there, and we got Vex and the gang moving up into this Baron pit area, trying to get their vision down, make sure everyone's staying nice and stable there. Pops moving in with some bullet time directly onto the Sivir, forcing the Sivir potentially back here. Meanwhile, we got Chaotic Obsidian getting engaged on by Crockpot, but do we want this fight? We do have Hoodie Man X going for the engage, but Hops already got out of there, and we got a fat ultimate coming out from both sides here. The Annie's ult hitting multiple, the Amumu ult landing on a bunch, and just not enough damage because Art is still handling this bot wave. Going to be a truly tragic point where Chaotic here, as he has to walk his way through topside and hopefully get out. But the Annie is there and has stun up and has landed with the point and click and decides, you know what, you're not even worth it. I'm going to go back to the Baron and get that and win the game. Dwagon engaging onto Atomic Rider 50 or 36 here, almost going down, but looks like they managed to take him out just in time, and we are seeing the Baron still likely going the way of TD. I don't know, as they've been completely uncontested thus far, and it's in the smite range now. So, bada bing, bada boom. You may have taken out Atomic Rider 36, but the whole team got Baron. And it's going to be a rough way to go. But deal with the cards we are dealt, gang, and we shall be okay. Still, we got bounties up, so we can easily make a comeback through that. We're only down 6k. Realistically, if we get some turrets, we get maybe an objective here. That's 600 gold plus the objective gold. That's 1k. For each player. Potentially. We might be cooked, gang. But we'll see how it goes. Dwagon smacking and smacking. Woven Alchemist taking the Scuttle Crab there, securing vision of the bot side of the map, clearing out more vision from our poor fellows over at ELG. Yeah, we're still seeing the vision scores much closer this game compared to last game. We're seeing Chaotic only 6 ahead, or only 7 ahead right now. Mumu keeps crying in that mid lane. We got Dwagon getting shoved in through Trashy here, going pretty hard on him. We got the R coming in from the Thorn. Manages to hit 1, but we are going to look for an engagement. We are going to dive into 5 of them and then dive directly into a 5-man Annie ult. Well, it looks like the game is going to go the way of TD, I don't know, in a 2-0 fashion. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name is Taylor Leah, and I hope you guys all enjoyed.